Well, according to Bleacher Report, not only do the Los Angeles Lakers want to move on from Russell Westbrook, it is Russell Westbrook who also wants to move on from the Los Angeles Lakers and find himself a new role. Apparently, Westbrook doesn't want to be the sixth man that the Lakers would likely want him to be. I mean, the Lakers are awful. As I make this video right now, you're seeing it on Friday, but I made it on Thursday night. On my TV screen right now to my left is the Lakers are getting destroyed. It's 92-65. The Clippers, without Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, are destroying the Lakers right now. The Lakers are awful. And this Russell Westbrook thing didn't work out. You know what bothers me about this the most, right? You know, these players and these ex-players, they tell people like me all the time, and this really bothers me, right? You know, they tell us all the time, you don't know the game. You don't understand the game of basketball. You'll never know what it is to play the game. And you know what I am? I'm not one of these fans or members of media. I cover the game of basketball. I'm not one of these guys that tries to dish it back to players. I got the ultimate respect for people that have played this game, right? Like, I have the ultimate respect. So I'm one of the guys who's like, yo, okay, you know what? We should take your word first. But what I've learned over time is some of these gifted, talented athletes, they don't know what the heck they're talking about, even being elite at their craft. Some of these dudes are so gifted athletically, they don't have to understand the game of basketball. That brings me here. You know, it doesn't take a basketball savant to know that Russell Westbrook wasn't going to work out with the Los Angeles Lakers. It doesn't take that. Every fan out there knew this was a disaster. You know, all I've had to hear over years, is star players around this league tell me, man, y'all don't know what y'all talking about on Westbrook. Why y'all so hard on Westbrook? Westbrook's a top 5 point guard of all time. All this mess. All these egregious takes on how great Russell Westbrook is. Did you see the triple-double? Did you see the triple-double? And you know what? Who's been the realest in this situation? It's been the fans. The fans have been the ones saying, y'all are wrong. Do y'all watch the games? No, bro. He's one of the greatest athletes of all time. Those triple-doubles are misleading, man. He's just a great athlete. Once-in-a-generation athlete. Not a once-in-a-generation player. Actually, his mind is actually once-in-a-generation in the opposite direction. I'm not calling the brother slow or anything like that. He's actually a smart guy who's like at the top of his class in high school, if I'm not mistaken. At a good high school, too. What I'm saying is the brother seemingly doesn't use the correct pieces to the brain when he's on the basketball court that will help his team win games. And every fan knew that. This is not rocket science to us. We are not surprised that Russell Westbrook and the Los Angeles Lakers have not worked out. None of us. Laker Nation knew it from the beginning. We was like, okay, you know what? LeBron is LeBron. Maybe he sees something we don't. Y'all keep telling us LeBron's one of the greatest, if not the greatest mind the game's ever seen. Maybe he sees something we don't. Kevin Durant couldn't figure it out. James Harden couldn't figure it out. Paul George couldn't figure it out. Victor Oladipo couldn't figure it out. Bradley Beal couldn't figure it out. And now LeBron James couldn't figure it out. Now Russell Westbrook wants out, which is hilarious to me because he's running out of teams. Y'all, you know, Russell Westbrook might be in his last 2 years in the league. He's 33 right now. I don't see him getting past 36, 37 in the NBA. He's running out of teams. You know, the Lakers were gifted an opportunity to move off Westbrook at the trade deadline. All they had to do was get rid of that 2027 pick. And I do believe John Wall here down the stretch could have been something. I'm not saying the Lakers would have won a championship, but it would have been something new, fresh in the building. A better shooter than Westbrook. Lakers wanted to hold on to the rights to Bryce Maximus with that 2027 pick. And they're paying for it. They'll be able to move Westbrook this summer because he'll be in the last year of a $45 million deal. Somebody will make the Lakers take on some players, meaning you'll have to take on about 3 or 4 guys to match that up dollar for dollar. Rotational pieces. You won't be bringing a star back in for Westbrook, but you'll be able to bring in some rotational guys that'll match. You could trade dollar for dollar in the NBA, even if a team is over the cap. You'll be able to make a trade, but the team is likely going to buy Westbrook out of that last year of his deal. The conversation is here. This is where we're at. You know, this would be a trade with like the Oklahoma City Thunder or something like that. You know, maybe for like Luguentz Dort or some. You know, this ain't gonna be a home run trade for the Lakers. No team is stupid enough to make the trade that the Lakers made last offseason. This has been a disaster. It ain't just Westbrook's fault. To me, he's number 2. Number 1 is Anthony Davis. 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 He is the. Don't get me started. Don't get me started.